Terazzo soup, anyone? Oh boy, someone's ready for Halloween. Wow, and it's not even August. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Carolyn here from Never Perfect Resin. And this is a little bit of an extenuation video. This is something that I was taping in the background that you didn't know about when I was making that adorable elephant who, by the way, at this point, we have chosen a name. He will be revealed at the end of this video, so definitely stay tuned for that. Now, I am using the Resiners 1-to-1 Crystal Clear Epoxy Resin. And if you remember my video from a few days ago, I had mixed all of these really pretty diamond, non-sinking diamond glitters and created this beautiful elephant. So I had a lot left over of each color. So at this point, I decided I was gonna do a dirty pour and create a whole nother gorgeous piece of artwork. And this time I've got space, astronauts, like planetary things in my head that I need to get out onto a resin piece. So that is what we are doing today, you guys. Let's see how it goes. Now, those 4 colors, I showed them just about a minute ago or so for these non-sinking diamond glitters. There's a beautiful pink, an orange, this really pretty teal color, and a purple. So I pretty much put them all into one cup, which you just saw me do, pouring everything in, and I've got a very simple tray mold. Now, yes, there is neon powder on the sides of this tray. I purposely didn't clean it up because I think it's gonna add to it. I think it's gonna look cool. So at this point, I am simply taking this dirty pour, and here we go. Here's our little dirty pour, and I can already tell that it is going to look stunning, amazing. Oh yeah, look at that. That glitter, I cannot even. Absolutely breathtaking. Beautiful. I can't even. It is such a like, mwah, beautiful situation happening. I'm definitely picking up the purple, the pink, that teal color. I'm having a little bit of a hard time picking up the orange. But it's really funny because, okay, this is like a little bit of a super time lapse, as in a cut to a couple minutes later. And the orange really isn't showing up yet, but then it does. So y'all got to see. All right, so this is what we're getting into. Terazzo chips. I have definitely very recently gotten into these eco resins. I had some Pure Cure. I've tried out the mix to mold. So all of my cups that the eco pour dries up, I've been, throwing them all into this little Tupperware. So I'm thinking, this is what I'm thinking. Let's create like a planet scene, like they're astronauts on a different planet. And we're gonna mix up these terrazzo chips to kind of make like a landscape situation. So that's what we're doing, all right? I've mixed up this Resiners 1-to-1 resin. It is ready to go. I mixed up a whole bunch. This is just a little bit that I put into a silicone cup. Yes, there is green eco resin in there. That's okay. We're putting terrazzo chips in there, so I'm not mad about it. It's just all gonna mix in there together. All right, so here are my beautiful little chips, and then I very quickly realized, Carolyn, don't use your hands to put those in. Like, that's just gonna make a big mess, especially since I'm doing it right onto my landscape. But anyhow, terrazzo chips are going in. So basically what I wanna do is create kind of like a terrazzo chip resin paste. And I want it to, I'm going to mix everything in, and then I'm hoping to kind of be able to paint on my, my hills, my hillside situation. of my planet, whatever planet it is. You know, like I don't even know if this is a real planet. I might need to make up a name for this planet, but the astronauts are going to be visiting this planet and it is looking amazing. So here we are with our terrazzo chip situation, and you are going to see I start putting it down onto my little landscape and then very quickly realize that the resin is still, it's too loose. I need to let everything set up a little bit more. So I'm going to let this resin set up and move on to another part of the project. So I knew that I wanted to embed a candle holder into this tray so that we can light a candle and it'll be very beautiful. Of course, my votive candle mold is completely out of focus. It's right there on the bottom left. You can't see it, which is absolutely lovely. I'm so sorry, you guys. But I am just taking some light blue opaque resin dye. This one happens to be from Let's Resin. So I wanted to do kind of a two-toned candle holder. So, and I figured I was going to add a little bit of this beautiful light blue non-sync glitter to the light blue resin. So that's what we're doing. So I'm going to do blue, and then I was really feeling the orange because you still can't see the orange very well, but it definitely shows up. So I wanted to do kind of a blue and orange mixture of a votive holder. And then we're going to go in with, this is actually ginger yellow. It's called ginger yellow from Let's Resin. But to me, it definitely looks like a very light orange color. So put that into my Resiners resin, mix that up. And then, of course, I have that beautiful orange non-sync diamond glitter that we're going to put in, you know, just for a little oomph. Mix that guy in, and you guys, I can't even with this one. All I'm thinking, again, I said I'm ready for Halloween. Halloween vibes. I want to make a pumpkin out of this. Oh, it is so cute. I love it so much. So at this point, you can actually see my votive mold now. So there we go. We are ready to go. So I'm just kind of going to do a mixture here. Now, y'all, this resin has kind of been sitting around for a while. I've been doing a lot of different things. So, you know, mixing the terrazzo and all of that, which is what I wanted. I wanted this resin to definitely be a little bit more, a little thicker than, you know, because I really wanted this marble to kind of show through and be quite prevalent. My thinking is that this votive holder will kind of look like a planet or like a sun or a moon or something, you know, in one little area. So I did have leftover again. So this is just another little candle holder that I'm filling up because, you know, why not? And at this point, my terrazzo soup, if you will, my terrazzo soup, it's ready to go. It is nice and thick. And I feel like at this point, I can definitely manipulate it a little bit better to create those peaks and valleys, kind of make like a hillside scene. You're just going to see me, and I'll speed this up a little bit just so I'm not boring you guys, but all the terrazzo is going down. I'm going to manipulate it, make it kind of look like whatever hillside scene I want. And then also just know that in the next few hours, I do check this because I don't want my peaks and my valleys to spread because, you know, resin loves to move around. It loves to spread if you're not watching it. So I was definitely being careful for all of that. 24 hours later, here we are. So my beautiful votive holder and the extra candle holder, I can't wait to figure out something to do with that guy. And then I also had a little like crystal mold, so I put the orange and the blue in there to make some moon rocks. All right, so in the meantime, I had to make my astronauts. And I know I didn't show this part, you guys, but what I did was I painted some holographic glitter into his little helmet situation, and then I used some UV resin and put that into the little star patch on his chest, all right? And if you have seen my video where I made little astronaut keychains, I'm going to link that also for you guys. Check that out. That'll explain the whole process of what I did. So, and also I'm showing you the little mold that I had for those moon rocks. All right, so at this point, I've got more resin, Resiners resin mixed up. I'm showing you that white Cast and Craft. I'm gonna mix a tiny bit up and just dye it white. And that is going to be what I fill that astronaut mold in. At this point though, most of the resin is going into this tray, and we're filling everything in here for the most part so that I can place my votive holder where I want him. So at this point, my last little bit of resin here that I dyed white, going into those two little astronauts because they're gonna look absolutely so cute. And I did make them identical because y'all just wait. Wait until you see the plan for these little guys, or should I say guy? Foreshadowing. Votive going down exactly where I want him to be. And 24 hours later, here we are, you guys. So our little astronauts, or should I say astronaut? Let's unmold, see what we have. So adorable, so cute. I love so much. This is one of my favorite molds that I own right now. I don't know what it is with space and you know, astronauts and all that stuff. It is so, I'm so into it. I think it is super, super cool. All right, so my plan is, because I made them identical, what I'm gonna do is I sanded the back of each one. You didn't see that part. This is some 1-to-1 epoxy glue. I mixed it up, and I've got a little popsicle stick, and I am spreading that glue on to the back of one of these little guys. And because they're absolutely identical, we're going to make one little man. One little man, a 3D man. I guess he's 3D, right? Yeah, he's 3D, yeah. And because he is a 3D man, which I got way too excited about, by the way, and this was y'all all off camera, me having like a little fit because I realized that I wanted to just stand him up in this resin, and also realized like gravity, it's not going to happen. Like, hello, like, which is ironic because, you know, we're thinking like space, astronauts, zero gravity, that kind of thing. But it's not going to happen. I'm not going to be able to stand this guy up right in the resin. So I had to completely shift gears at this point. So our votive is down, and I had to very, very quickly figure out what I wanted to do to make sure I could stand this guy up within this little planetary situation. And note, I said very, very quickly, and then I kind of just stood down and realized, you know what, Carolyn, you messed up. So we're just going to switch gears. So I realized I had these really cute colored nail art stickers that happen to be kind of the exact same colors of these terrazzo chips. So of my little peaks and valleys. So I decided that I was going to put some of these guys down just to create a little bit of atmosphere, you know, a little bit of depth to the piece. So that is what you are seeing me do right now. And while I was doing that, I was also in my head thinking, what the heck am I going to do with this astronaut? So this is what I did. I knew that UV resin had to be part of this situation. So what I ended up doing was I rifled through a bunch of my pop socket blanks because, you know, I've got one of those pop socket molds, and I think they're great because you can make blanks out of them, and then they kind of create a little pedestal. So these little moon rocks that I have, I was going to use them to help with my gravity situation, help keep this little astronaut standing. UV resin, a little pop socket pedestal, some moon rocks, to the rescue. We saved the astronaut. Look at him in all of his glory. We are good to go. And at this point, I am ready for my last final layer of resin. This is just a nice clear coat going down. I will spread him around, make sure he is looking good to go. I'm gonna wait a couple hours, really let this set up, and then I'm gonna place my little astronaut man. So that is the plan thus far. Okay, so our little man, our little astronaut man looks, I think, super, super cute. The UV resin worked an absolute treat. Yes, so the resin has been sitting around doing its thing. I am going to place the little man on there. And now all we have to do is wait another 24 hours. He'll be ready to demold. We're going to get some still shots. And also, we have to talk about the cute little elephant that we made last week. We've got a name for him, so get ready. So if y'all saw my last video just from a few days ago from my mold from Into Resin along with the non-sink diamond glitters, I asked y'all, help me name him. He needed a name. You guys came through in the comments with what you thought his name should be. So first of all, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I ended up letting my daughter and one of her friends kind of help me figure out at the end of the day. It was so close between Elton and Humphrey, and so I went to the two of them, asked them individually. They both chose Elton, which I think is actually perfect for him because he's so like regal and fabulous looking, and I think Elton is the perfect name for him. So thank you so much, you guys, for helping me out with that. All right, so here we go. First shot of our little astronaut on his whatever planet he's on situation. I knew that these terrazzo chips were gonna glow under some black light, so look at this. Okay, remember in the very beginning, I had left all of that neon splatter on the little sides of my little plaque mold. This is why. I had a feeling that it was gonna look cool. So, and in terms of this 1-to-1 crystal clear epoxy resin from Resiners, I did put it through my Resiners Airless Bubble Removing machine. That being said, I was super happy with the working time that I had with this resin, and there are absolutely no bubbles whatsoever. Every single layer that I did when I made the astronauts, all of that stuff, when I made the little votive holder, everything. So I'm definitely happy with it for sure. All right, you guys, that is it for today's video. I will see you guys on the next one. Again, like, subscribe. If you feel like doing a super thanks situation, that would also be cool. Anyone that has already done so, I appreciate it so much. You're just helping me keep on making these videos and letting us kind of share and be crafty together. All right, you guys, I will see you next time. Bye.